There is a growing consensus that the media is hurting young women. We are bombarding them with unachievable images with an unspoken understanding that they should rise to meet these to be of value. The world of comic books faces some of these same concerns. There are people speaking out about the portrayal of the female hero, saying things like, "Why are her clothes so tight? Why can I see her legs, her cleavage? No real women are those proportions." The list goes on and on. As soon as someone finds out that I am into comic books, specifically superheroes, it doesn't take long before the other person brings up the question, what is up with the way superhero ladies are dressed? It is somehow assumed that because I am a girl, I will be outraged by their costumes, and this is a safe conversation to have with me. Even people with limited comic knowledge view this topic as a no-brainer. Obviously, there is a right and a wrong way to draw women, and most do it wrong. Their hopes of camaraderie turn to deer in the headlights as I launch into why having this conversation is possibly more damaging to women everywhere than the fact that Zatanna wears fishnets. This conversation is worrisome to me for two main reasons, although there are others. First, what about the male heroes? Why is there no concern over their portrayal? And second, why can't women be more than what they wear? I have never heard a single person say, "Batman's clothes are way too tight." Or, "What is going on with Superman's abs? No man I have ever met looks like that." The world of male superheroes is full of bulges, biceps, ripped thigh muscles, and abs that aren't humanly possible. Deadpool is a prime example of this. His character's body is riddled with cancer. Without his mask, he is not pretty to look at. However, in full costume, his body is perfect and the envy of any bodybuilder. These few examples show that male superheroes are completely unrealistic representations of men found in real life. Why is this conversation never had? Does it mean we care less about our young boys? Or do people believe that girls are too stupid to understand these drawings don't represent real women, something boys don't have a problem differentiating, but girls do? The second reason this conversation worries me is because it is where the conversation stops. When we become too focused on what they are wearing, we stop looking for or noticing what else that person has to offer. These women are more than the clothes they wear while they fight crime. Captain Marvel, although completely covered in spandex, used to work as a fighter pilot and for the CIA. Black Canary wears a corset onesie with fishnets and a jacket, but she is also a business owner, operating her own florist company. Perhaps the most telling example of this is Power Girl, whose costume hole and large breasts have become such an issue that she has addressed them herself in her comics. Many people know this, but very little more about her character. She represents a self-reliant woman who apologizes for nothing. Her comic shows a woman who deals with the daily stresses of running a huge corporation and has a life outside of work that happens to be beating up bad guys. This juggling of work and home is a real battle that all women face. When she is not flying around fighting crime, she works as the CEO of Starware Labs, a science and tech company. The lack of women in science and tech is another hot topic as of late, but despite the fact it's right in front of us in her comic, we either don't know because we can't get past a pair of boobs, or we are tempted to say that the only way we can take her seriously as a CEO is if she covers her breasts completely. Cleavage defines her when it's visible. I think perhaps this says more about us as an audience than it does about Power Girl being a role model. Another great popular culture icon, Don Draper from Mad Men, once said,
"If you don't like what is being said, change the conversation."
The conversation surrounding female superheroes needs to change, especially if we want to get more girls into comic books. If we want our female superheroes to do more than flaunt their assets, we need to be excited about what else they have to offer. Because the fact of the matter is, they are already doing more than flaunting their physique, but that isn't being noticed or talked about as part of who they are and what they represent to readers. Let's stop judging comic book characters by their covers and agree that men and women are equal in the unrealistic way they are portrayed and take that conversation off the table. Instead, let's be excited about the CEOs and the business owners, the positive personality traits the heroes possess, and other accomplishments. Our excitement will translate into writers including those elements into their stories instead of selling books based on the controversy of abs and cleavage.